I want to talk to you about a battleground state called the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It has one of the oldest legislatures in our country and one of the oldest constitutions in our country. We all know Philadelphia is the birthplace of the country. That's where the Declaration of Independence was written. That's where the Constitution was written. It's a very, very important battleground state. And the Democrats wanted to make sure that in 2020, it came out for Biden, because in 2016, it came out for Trump. What am I talking about? You hear this phrase, systemic fraud. There's no evidence of systemic fraud. You see reporters interviewing officials of various state governments saying there's no fraud whatsoever. Let me ask you a question. 14 months ago in the state of Pennsylvania, if you had voted by mail-in ballot, it would have been discarded. If that mail-in ballot had been counted, that would have been fraud. 14 months ago in the state of Pennsylvania, if you sent in a ballot without a signature, that ballot would be discarded. If it was counted, that would be criminal fraud. 14 months ago in the state of Pennsylvania, if you sent in a ballot with a signature that didn't match a signature that they had on file, that would be discarded. If it was counted, that would be criminal fraud. 14 months ago in the state of Pennsylvania, if you sent in a ballot beyond Election Day, it wouldn't be counted. And if it was, that would be fraud. If you sent in a ballot without a postal stamp date on it, it wouldn't be counted. And if it was, that would be fraud. Or if you sent in a ballot where they couldn't tell what the date was, because maybe there was a smudge on the ink, it wouldn't be counted. And if it was counted, that was fraud. All of those ballots today count. They were all counted in Pennsylvania because of unconstitutional and illegal changes that were made by officials and made, quote unquote, officially by individuals in Pennsylvania. None of this is discussed in a single newsroom in America, on a single TV show, radio show, or any other show. So I want to slowly walk you through what took place in Pennsylvania. And this sort of thing has taken place to some degree or another in numerous states.
2016, you had only 199,356 mail-in votes. This time you had 1.3 million. 2016, you had a 6.4% rejection rate, and this time you had a 0.2% rejection rate. In other words, 0.2. So when you had 200,000 ballots, you had a rejection rate of 6.4%, and now where you have 1.3 million ballots, you have almost no rejection rate. 0.2% is almost statistically insignificant. That alone raises suspicion of fraud and has been held as such in election cases. And Biden won the mail-in vote by over 400,000.
Our election contest petition that we are filing today cites multiple violations of the election code of the state, several of which by themselves would reverse the outcome of this election. The margin of ostensible victory for former Vice President Biden is approximately 12,500 ballots. I say approximately because the margin has changed several times and is likely change again as a result of the current ongoing statutory recount. But we do know that the margin is less than 0.5% of the millions of votes cast in the presidential election in Georgia this year. What we are presenting to the court and to you today as the Georgia legislature are facts. 2,506 felons voted illegally in Georgia. 66,248 underage and therefore ineligible people to illegally register to vote before their 17th birthday, when the law requires 17 and a half years old. At least 2,423 individuals to vote who were not listed as registered. 1,043 individuals to cast ballots who had illegally registered to vote using a post office box. 4,926 individuals voted in Georgia who had registered to vote after their Georgia voter registration date, thereby canceling their Georgia voter registration. 10,315 or more individuals to vote who are deceased by the time of the election. 395 individuals to vote in Georgia who had cast ballots in another state, which is illegal in both states. 15,700 individuals to vote in Georgia who had filed a national change of address with the United States Postal Service prior to November 3rd, 2020. 40,279 individuals to vote who had moved across county lines at least 30 days prior to Election Day and who had failed to properly re-register to vote in their new county after moving, also in violation of Georgia law. The petition for contest will include affidavits of more than 100 Georgia voters sworn under penalty of perjury, attesting to and confirming multiple violations of the Georgia Election Code. You will hear from several of those witnesses today. And then we have the issue of outright lies and potential fraud. The actual results of legal ballots cast in the November 3rd, 2020 election in compliance with the Georgia Election Code cannot be known ever. Not by the Secretary of State, not by the governor downstairs, not by the voting public, and not by this Georgia legislature.